Okay, now let's get started. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to another stream. Coming in a bit early today because we have the 8:30 news event. Not news event, like something big, just typical sort of news release, typical sort of preparation. Like we said yesterday, something that you always want to prepare for in advance because you want to sort of gauge the prior reaction before anything else. We have that massive sort of 8:30 little dump off for news in a small little reprieve, then we come back rather at 10:15. So that's something that you always want to look for. Yesterday, pretty successful. We came in high here, 8:30 came in, spiked it high, kept going up higher. It's the only reason we did that is because we started collecting too much short. If we start looking at this area here again, you can see when we sort of cleared it, we just came back, a wall sort of supported that, so any time it went down, people were shorting back into a wall, so they're just trying to make sure they're reaching for higher. But you still was fervent in this sort of short, just saying it's like something that you definitely want to be into, just because if you wanted to go along here, it would have been done either in London or last previous day's New York session. Because you're looking at this and you're saying, okay, it's really high. They're just taking out this liquidity here. They took out the liquidity here. Took out the liquidity here, like yesterday anyhow. And they did that on the swing anyway from here. So they're just grabbing for the liquidity that we knew that was there. Then they moved sort of down. You can see that they just had to keep it up here, sort of provide sort of false hope, provide the narrative that, oh no, there's a breakout happening, please buy. I promise I won't trick you this time, and it tricks them again. And cruel is their mistress. You can see where again they just see up, they go down, they're like, oh, okay, look, there's my flag, and there's where I buy. And you can see where they start buying after the consolidation phase, and people start getting liquidated as well as shorts getting added. And every time they get punished for shorting early or letting go early, they switch, they keep switching sides. Then finally, until they couldn't sort of hold on anymore, you can see this just creating that pressure, just saying, okay, we're done with it. No one's biting. No stupid people are left in this planet. We need to go down and clear it. And it was a typical sort of stop hunt, nothing sort of too major where we just dumped into oblivion, because you can see we marked out the weekly range, and the target anyway was sort of here, short target, but sort of resides back in, comes back for Asia, taps it again, and you can see that we're just we just took out the outside range and came back and sort of mellowing out with it right now, and sort of relaxing, looking all cool, shooting some b-ball. Yesterday almost killed me. Today I make back all. God damn. You 75x your Pepe? Oh yeah, hell yeah. Oh yeah. What, 75 Pepe again? 100x Pepe? Today looks like more of the same. I mean, sure, we corrected against yesterday, and it's sort of what we're looking for. If we're looking down, consolidate back, collected longs again, we're probably lining up for another push-up dump. We'll see if we can get the first push-up coming along, see if we can grab some liquidity out and take out all the shorts and that were accumulated in the current cycle of the consolidation phase. Again, yesterday I didn't mention you could have grabbed the long on the way back, or the short on the second swing back. Just because you're just really focused on getting one trade. And if you can get one trade and you have solid reasoning behind that trade, and our reasoning was, oh, idiots are doing one thing, let's do the opposite. Hurrah. and it works. Now what we're planning is probably more of the same. See if we can get that reaction goated upwards and see what the first reaction is, and we just bite the opposite way. Because sure, we took out the range, so it's a nice little weekly stop hunt. Stopped very nicely, sort of not too far away. So still within sort of margin here to be considered stop hunt. But just looking at how things are sort of developing, we've got to sort of see where retail is at. Then from there, we can maybe conclude something else. So retail looks at this and say, oh yeah, breakout, retest, buy, buy, buy. So they're already buying. Maybe something like this. They say, okay, buy, buy, buy. So they're definitely buying. I don't know, breakout or something like that. Maybe I need a more narrow one. Any retail experts here? Again, we can sort of draw it like this. Again, they're buying here. We already know they're buying here. We can see them bookmap buying there. If we sort of bring it into straight and narrow, and there's sort of the break. So potentially looking for it if it goes down to target the second stop here. I can draw that straight. So if we see people go short here as the first move down, then we can reverse it here. Potentially reverse it here, but it'll probably stretch more into here anyway. But we know this is already sort of where retail will look to buy. So if they sort of grab in, take the liquidity out, they're forced to buy this breakout. If they come back, they force themselves to buy the retest, and then we sort of can watch that sort of unfold. All we're looking for this week is just to end on a red candle. We don't really care otherwise. I mean, looking at it sort of yesterday, you can see that it created that spike, jumped down, gave you a double bottom with here, poking out here, then sort of recovers instantly, and you can see it just wants to be within inside this area, just playing with people. It doesn't want to be too far away from the week open, but at the same time, it still wants to look at the week open and just say, yep, I want to go down. Let's go. So he wants to print red, but just doesn't want to move too far away. So make up your damn mind, won't you? Already got a large wick on this one, which is always a fun time. This music's asinine. It's not fit for this. How would you long go for bouncer? Like I said, not really focus on that. On that side, just because you got one side, just be happy and just call it a day. There was not any real sort of setup. Let's sort of look at that. There was no real setup here, so it's just like anything's just sticky. That's it's just sticky. Maybe you can grab an entry on Bookmap, but yeah, not even. It just looks very shallow. You can see the hit goes up, but generally it's just, like I said, it's just you caught the dump. Ah, nice. I mean, you were here for the stream, so you had to have caught the dump. If you didn't get the dump, I legally have to disown you. Maybe you could have jumped in here, somewhere here. This looks sort of nice. I mean, sure, as a retail trader, or if you're just looking at charts, it doesn't look nice. But here, looking at this, it's just like, okay, short. They dumped it out, stop hunt. We came back into range, stop hunt, reclaimed range. Now we're just collecting shorts. So small pump up expected. First step up, second step, and third. You can see that how they push it. How they push it up, then it consolidates back into here, spikes it out, and back again. But yeah, you can see these clear steps. So there's your first step, you miss it, second step, and third and final step up. Ends the day, just fades it with a nice little Batman. But Yeah, can't really catch the bottom here, and 'cause, I mean, I don't know, unless you're lying to people, yeah, maybe you could have got the bottom, but uh, if you're preaching safety and everything about being safe or trading, then not really. It's more so here is where you'd want to enter on a long after everything sort of subsides, and you know that okay, they cleared out the stop hunt, they pushed back up, now they're back in consolidation. But I mean, if you just got the short yesterday, which was just easy, just hit the short button at 10 o'clock, and you just go to sleep and you wake up like, oh, I made money. Okay, we should have that news injection. Let's see. Oh, let's not get got distracted. Oh, there we go. We went high first of all. So now we're already thinking that it's going to dump and down it goes. So, because remember, it's exactly the same thing as yesterday. We have news, so we want to do the what? The opposite of what everyone else does. It doesn't matter what the news said, doesn't matter. We just want to do the opposite of whatever this time does. Up until potentially 10:30, we'll see if it gives you a nice little double bottom between these two figures, and then final sort of pivots is Friday 10 o'clock. So that works perfectly well for us. Ends the week nice. Nice little ribbon, nice little bow. Just says, okay, those are your times. Just do whatever. See if I care. Already sort of grab some liquidity. See if you grab some breakout traders. You can see them just here. Like as soon as it goes, they're here. They're just waiting. They just want to buy. They just want to believe. I shot this alone at the top, but then TP, then must came up. Ah, that's always like you always have like take profits at sort of lows, like even if it's just 10%, like you can just say look 10% or between 25% or like here, then you just like okay cool, hit that one, close the rest off maybe sometime later at break even point, or much higher, or depending on if you know the price is going to reverse, you know the price is going to go up here, so you're like, oh, okay, we close the rest off here, so average exit is here, didn't exit all of it here, but still managed to be profitable if from what this entry here. So it's just like, okay, pick and choose your battles, just make sure you're making money along the way. More of the same thing again. You don't want to enter in this candle. It's just a candle to grab anyone who's greedy or anyone who's stupid. It's going high, so we already know that we're preparing for a short day, because we're just clearing out shorts. If we clear out shorts and we grab longs, the natural course of things will be down, like we did yesterday. We cleared out shorts, we got all the liquidity, we went down. Or you just say, oh yeah, do the opposite. It's very sort of tight. I mean, it's tight range. I mean, London just did nothing. Absolutely abysmal. New York should come alive with this. Hopefully, push us further down. Again, like I said, you don't want to really enter into this candle. You can see that this candle is made up and comprised. So you can see this breakout buys at the top, some shorts getting stopped out, then instantly re-added onto the shorts. So these people who are shorting early, as soon as they see a pin, they're like, oh, it's going to close on a pin. I have to short this because you short hammers, you short shooting stars, you short whatever your name is, regardless of where in the cycle you are. Case in point here, and without sort of too much leeway. We expect us to just come back up and just sort of drive these guys out. It's plain and simple. Drive these guys out, then once we drive these guys out, then we can come in. We can come in and say, hey, how you doing? At the moment. Okay, let's see what the news articles are saying. Let's see if we've got bullish or bearish news today. Just more fluff pieces. Touts leverage reduction after record loss. Oh god damn. Why would you tout maybe use a different words? I don't think tout is the correct word to use in this instance. I could be mistaken. Let's just define that quickly. So, oh, okay. Yeah, a persistent approach. See? Yeah, exactly. It is the wrong word. It's, I think, just literacy wise, it's. I mean, you can fit it in there, but I think for fluency's sake, you wouldn't want to use towers. Because usually tout record-breaking numbers, not decreases in leverages. Just bearish news, some fluff pieces, nothing too major, nothing sort of to like say, oh yeah, everyone's gonna just buy long like idiots. But I mean, we got some of that anyway. We got these shorters, we got this large mix coming in. I think we sort of drive this out a bit. Should be similar to yesterday, if not exactly the same. Just same thing coming in. We've got 10:30, someone coming in to talk, so they'll probably screw up things more for us, and maybe we drag out like that. We know this is short here. These people who broke out long here are getting punished at a very fast rate. As long as it stays within here, there's that chance, there's that double top chance that we're looking for. Once we get that double top chance, then we can look for that short on our side. Other than that, we're not really looking to do too much with this, other than wait, because if it doesn't and it slides all the way down and just sort of dropping bombs, then you're sort of looking like a fool for a while until it sort of, you want to flip biases, because if it breaks this and prints double bottom, it's just ends up collecting short, and this ends up just looking like a bullish day rather than a bearish day. But necessarily it's just not what we want out of the week, just being honest. I mean, we're close to greatness. Coming up again, everyone who believed in the breakout no longer believes in the breakout. Now they're shorting exactly the same thing they did yesterday. If we hover over yesterday, show you that. There you go. This was a more pumpier case, but again, pushes up. Everyone loses hope in the cause. The cause gets absorbed by people who are willing to buy this long. Then they push it back up, and the same thing again. Until they're just like, okay, this is where we wanted. This is the liquidity that we wanted to get at 28, 250. And they push it out. They collect too much shorts. Like, okay, cool. Now this is a shift in that market where they're just running out the shorts, but keeping these longs trapped on top of each other. So it's just like, okay, from here on out, you're like, okay, yeah, I'm happy in this short. This is the right thing to do, and I stand by it. And it continues doing this for a while longer, gets a bit more aggressive, but instantly sort of replied by this wall, then just finally sort of pushes it along. Expecting similar, if not same sort of reaction out of today. Again, magnitudes will always vary, so we might not get the same level of pumpiness. But that didn't sound right. Damn it. But at the same time, you shouldn't really expect that. Again, everyone in the mothers now are just seeing red. They bought the breakout, instantly regretted the breakout buying. We'll see if their stops are placed here. If we need to sort of dig deep again, we just want to pin and close higher. Then we're sort of I'll close at least at this sort of point, just to showcase that they're collecting short volume rather than breaking lows and continuing lower and letting shorts be freed. Because again, we don't want shorts to be too free and too sort of unrestricted in their movements. So we want to sort of collect them where we collect them prior. And if we are going to pin just to grab stops, we want to come back and make sure they don't have the chance to break out at even. Then we can sort of continue and grab that high. Now it's a waiting game. While we play the waiting game, we can look at other things. Maybe look at some daffodils. Again, Ethereum, exactly the same thing. Just comes in, looks the same. Just no variation. This might be potentially bullish at some point in time. You can see this is where peak retail sees the break. This is where they go short, and you can see they instantly sort of come up and they go short. I mean, they didn't go short here because we know they went long, which is daft, but in this instance, this worked out just to some certain extent. And these patterns do work out, but only when they don't get traded, which I find hilarious, absolutely hilarious. And if you're on the right side, then you definitely find it hilarious and comical that it happens time and time again. When they cherry pick the ones that work, it's usually the ones that are not traded. Because remember, we have access to trade volume, so we know if they came in long or if they came in short. That you guys definitely came in long there, even though your book says to go short. Go figure. Same thing here. They went long on these areas and they got punished for it. It just doesn't work when they want it to work. It works when they don't want it to work. That's the simple rule of life or trading. Same thing, similar to life. We hit out very aggressively. Again, it's pushing down very aggressively. We still have, a lot to sort of play with the candle. But breaking the lows always, and it's a decent thing. Again, you can see that it's just a pin. All we're doing is coming back and we're closing back at the same area, so we're just developing these closes similar to this. So all it is was a cheeky little stop hunt, instantly back. Now we just collected a lot more shorts than we would have if we didn't do that. So we're just driving ourselves back. So something that we want to be wary for and cognizant. I hit my funny bone. No. That's so fucking much. Ouch. Let it recover. Just look at Bookmap. Again, down it goes. Again, stops on high. Down it goes. It's not necessarily something we want to sort of join hands with. Maybe it's something we miss, but again, we'll have time to come back into it. If it does inevitably go down, either we add back here or we wait for it to come back and add into here, essentially. So we always have choices. We always have opportunity to trade out. They're not going to let this rip without letting us join the ride. If they do, it's just what we call an asshole move. Again, wait, see if we want to complete the candle here. again, we see close a candle here on the swing up and just sort of just claw back some of the shorts again because it's starting to get a bit heavy on this push here. So maybe this just ends up becoming a rather bullish day, or surprisingly bullish day, but still too early to call anything because we still have to wait for 10 o'clock. An hour and 15 minutes. In between that time, anything could happen. Not anything, but likeliest outcome is the one we talked about, which is pushes in, grab, clear all the liquidity, stop hunt high, grab all the liquidity here, grab a lot more breakout traders and stops on this swing and push back down. Missed trade opportunity would be pushes down, grabs a lot more lower, collects a lot more shorts, pushes back in, and then sort of pushes back down and gives you a nice little double bottom to then sort of be bullish at. So that's sort of your two sort of scenarios ideally you're looking for. Again, we're only looking for retests or double tops, double bottoms here, stop hunts or liquidity raids, because we clearly know this is not some time frame you want to be trading, because it is usually very much always a trap. So if it clears in here, just shuffle trades and just sort of pushes back out. Again, that could be another sort of little opportunity. Sort of, I mean, you could easily just push in, push up, but you can see how people going short just by seeing red instantly punish on the other side. You wait for it to sort of complete that, and then sort of try sort of take that a bit further down. And there's your longs coming in here. It had a pressure wall. They had sort of a wall stopping any shorts from dropping it lower, but they removed it. Oh, it's back again. Very sort of light amounts of liquidity here. But still, I decided to protect it. I mean, just have to be patient with these things as it sort of develops out. Don't want to be caught in something that you don't like. You sort of go in, look at SPY. Yes, even though it's delayed, they still provide us with relevant information on sort of long-term sort of overview, which is ideally what we want. Again, we always want to sort of chart up and see where we've got retail trapped. I basically got them trapped dead twice here. Let's drag it on this. There we go, dead twice on this wick here. That's depending on how they draw it. Because again, that's the thing I don't like. It's all subjective, and I don't like the idea of subjectivity in my charts, just because it just adds a margin of error that I'm uncomfortable with. That's why I don't like trend lines, and I bully or mock. Is a more apt word. Retail traders. It's quite comedic if you think about it. But here's again where we call breakout traders here. Push back down, grab retests here, but again, we've got a lot of liquidity that's available to us on this sort of swing here. So we know that people will buy this breakout willy-nilly, as well as they'll have their stop placements here if they're in on this short within this vicinity. That's something that you want to be cognizant of. So there is some upscale potential, not too much, but still some. Because if you sort of zoom out, just look at the grand scheme of things and just sort of try it from there, you can see that we've collected well and nice the volume all the way up here. You can see the shorter range where we've consolidated to and fro from this area, push out, retest out, the larger sort of range working with still sort of. I mean, it's more so this here, where just one doesn't sort of mesh with the other. You can see that this is the other range you're looking at that we broke outside of. Just stop hunted here, comes back in, closes the volume here, pushes back out once again. You can see we're just hanging around it. We tested it a couple of times here, but we want to sort of drop because we want these next couple of weeks to be red, and the only way we can really achieve that is by going down, because we're just hovering around the week open like I've stated before, and it's a nice place to be if you're just trying to break people's legs, but at some point you gotta grow up and just move the damn market. But just coming up like we've talked about, just pushing a bit higher. It's nothing I'm surprised about, nothing that's catching me off guard. Just sort of pushing a bit, see if again switch this side, this one here, there we go. Now for SPY, it's similar stories. We've got liquidity up here, is I'd like to say there's where people have drawn this and just said, okay, here's what we do. There's a game plan. They buy the breakout here. We've got stops here anyway, so it's a double up. Double up's always nice to hit because we grab both breakout traders, and those breakout traders squeeze out the shorts that would have been placed here, the pre-market or during London, and they would have been sort of mistakenly done so, and they would have got a hit out by other people who wanted to buy this area. And so then you just have a lot of market buys coming, flooding through, getting eaten up, and then we just want to sort of dump it out. So it sort of holds nice to what we're looking for, especially if we're looking for that stop hunt a bit higher. Looking for that stop hunt a bit higher. And you always want to prepare for both scenarios. Again, the scenario that we talked about that potential mistrade also sort of sells nicely. Let's say we have a mistrade where it just pushes down, then comes back up and gives you the trade much later on rather than the area that you're looking for initially. So for instance, something like where it pushes in, pushes back up, just comes into here, then gives you that little mistrade opportunity here, and or here these tops, then gives you a nice little double bottom where then it pushes and just finds its way back up. They're the only really two scenarios that I'm sort of prepping for. Anything else, again, I'm blind to, and it's just going to be purely reactionary, depending on how the market changes as the day progresses. But usually it doesn't change too much from the setup that it presents itself, because not like they can just randomly make up numbers and generate infinite amount of money out of nowhere. They got some rules, not many but some. Rule number 1 is take your money. Rule number 2, don't lose money. You can see all these altcoins just dumped and just instantly come back up after taking the low. Again, so they always take the line, and you can see it sort of always sort of achieves a little stop on Atom being the only sort of resistant. But it just trades back into sort of this area here, and again gives you a nice little double top. Same thing with all the altcoins, they just look they look the same at this stage of time. A lot more money flooded into them than Bitcoin. You can see in the recovery a lot better on the recovery, but it's just probably due to the fact that they have less money in them, so they're easier to move back once everything goes astray. So again, we have that possibility to push up, then push down. grab breakout traders here, easy money. And what I mean by grab breakout traders, we have potential liquidity there. Not we don't have absolute fact that this liquidity there. We know that retail will more often than not like to buy this area, and the only sort of hard liquidity we really can say for sure is the stops that are placed here. So we know there's stops here, so this is a stop hunt area. That's why by the time it hits here and we see people buying, they buy into the stop hunts, which leads to more buying, then we can then collapse it. Is ideally what you're looking for. And us building short prior to this and prior to any sort of news is always a good sign of a secondary high, or even a bullish outcome in totality. Just because we've got all these guys being bearish, just building up shorts upon shorts. We know we can have liquidity if we go up higher, and the only way to go up higher is squeezing people out of the hard-earned money, which is very easy. And I think I'll probably just end it off here. I don't want to run your head in circles. Give you guys a nice solid 1 hour. Get some caffeine in you. Get some food in you. Assess your game plan. You guys know what my game plan is today. It shouldn't be too varied from yesterday. We've got 2 outcomes to play. Just look for a stop hunt and just treat that stop hunt as a false sort of move outside of things. Again, tomorrow will probably be the last. I mean, tomorrow still has sort of set up coming in from the tail end of today, so it won't be the beyond and end all if you can't catch a trade today, because you see the setup tomorrow and you can probably catch that on that swing. Next week, looks like there's nothing really stopping Monday, so it'll probably be just a sort of carryover from whatever we did Friday. Retail sales decent for news. Again, nothing sort of too major. And it's just jobless. It's always decent, but looking very light next week, which is always good because we have the week after FOMC minutes, which is always the funnest of times. Just because all we need to do is just repeat again, do the opposite. So it looks like next week's gonna be light, and the week after is gonna be a lot heavier, which is great because the week after this week it's usually a lot more bullish in terms of pushing price up. Because remember, this week and the next week are very bearish. They only have a 30% success rate in the traditional markets, and that will obviously translate into Bitcoin. So that's why we're awfully bearish, or just looking for it to close red on the week. So if we're close to it or we're printing green, we're just looking at it to move away, and just even if we don't move, but we just sort of have a lot of volatility, we still just want to sort of wrap the week up just by printing a decent amount of red. And with that, I am out. Thank you guys so much for coming and putting up with my lame jokes or attempts at that. Hopefully you guys trade safe, stay safe. I will catch you guys tomorrow for the fallout. Just mind those timings. Game 10, 15 for today. Just prepare for it. Just watch the bids as they come in, and everything should be alright.